good afternoon, Icloners. A couple of weeks, or actually I guess last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I made a Bigfoot video using the popcorn particle effect, the fur popcorn particle effect. However, I didn't know much about what I was doing, and to keep the fur off of his face, and off of his hands and off of his feet, what I did was I converted it using the game base so that all of the skin textures became one texture. However, I couldn't keep the fur off of the eyeballs and the mouth because they were completely separate even under the game base, and so you ended up having fur in the let me see if I can find it here. You ended up having fur on the eyeballs, so I had to remove them in order to get it to work. Here's the video. Let me find the part
This thing comes out of the wood.
Here we go.
And videotapes the whole thing.
There you go.
And as he's walking by, he stops and he looks back at us. And
you can see that I was able to keep the fur off of the face and off of the hands, but it's far enough away you can't see. There's no eyeballs here. He doesn't have a mouth. And that was fine for this particular project, and I moved on. However, today I had this idea. A friend of mine, Big's Trek, actually commented on here. Just a silly comment. Big's Trek made a series of movies a while back called Underpants Man, and because his name is Big's Trek and it's kind of like Bigfoot, I thought it'd be funny to put some underpants on my Bigfoot here. So I played around with it, tried to do the game base with clothes on, and realized the game base only affects the skin textures. So when you convert to a game base, it only combines the skin textures. Now what you have to do in order to get this to work, you have to take and export the character as an FBX. So I had the character and I turned him in. I had found these nice little underwear from one of the people on the marketplace. Free little thing here, nice. And I converted my guy. I think I used some morphs, the gorilla morph for the whole body. It looked just a little bit, not. Let's see, something like that, and then mess with his face a little bit. And then what you got to do, like I said, you come in here and you export as FBX. Now I have a pipeline version of Character Creator, and I'm not sure. I don't think you get instaload without the pipeline version. But here, down at the bottom of the instaload, you get the merge materials, and I was able to export it as an FBX. Okay. And I'm not going to do this because it might take a little while, and I already have the character as the FBX. So then I came into Iclone, and here we have our FBX Bigfoot, Big Trek Foot FBX. But an FBX is in essence a prop. It's not a character, and it took me a few minutes to realize this. I'm not particularly talented at doing these kinds of things. So it's not a character, it's a prop. And that's problematic. I want him to be able to do things. And so how can I make this work? Now there might be a way to do this inside Character Creator. I don't know. But I did think that 3D Exchange had the ability to handle this kind of thing. And so I opened up 3D Exchange, and I'll just quickly show you. When you start off new and you start with your FBX file, it comes in here and it says to me, no, it did it faster the last time I did it. Okay. There you go. Analyzing character data structure. Continue to convert it to a non-standard talking character. There you go. Boom. Yes, that's exactly what I want. It does that. I export it into wherever I want. File, export. It's going to now do it non-standard character. I put it where I want it. And then once I import that, it's a, let's take a look at the file real quick. It's this, an eye avatar, right? Now I can insert my eye avatar into an Iclone project, and it should be a, what is it called, non-standard. So my understanding with this is that he will be able to talk, but you won't be able to do a lot with his face, with his facial features. And I played with it, and it started to distort the actual model itself. But the nice part is when you look here, there is only one texture. Okay, so it's this one texture for the entire character. You got your eyeballs, your mouth, the body, the whole 9 yards, which is nice. The underwear is on here, everything. It's just one texture. And so using this, you are able to then use the popcorn effect fur and keep it off of certain places on the body. And if you followed the tutorial for the fur, you'll see how you do that very quickly. Well, maybe. Did I already do it? I don't think I did. Let's see. Let me make sure I haven't done this yet. Have not. Okay. Let me go ahead and we're going to add in the fur. If I can find it. Sorry, I thought I had this actually lined up a little bit, but I do not. So let's grab it. Here it is. And I have a few files that I've already done. I can show you quickly how I use them. So it's right there. Right? If I just hit play, you see the fur. It's generating on its own little structure here. In order to get it to be on my character mesh, I take the sampler mesh. I use the pick target tool, and now, boom, there you go. All right, now my character has fur, but that's not what we wanted. We wanted to be able to remove the fur from certain places on his body. And also, I'm not a huge fan of that color, so we'll use color map on here. This is very basic. I created one. Let me show you quickly how you can do this yourself. Go into the character, go into the texture, go here, and then launch whatever your editor is. I'm going to launch. It's going to do it in GIMP for me. And now you're just going to create a new transparent channel. And so if I wanted to worry about the fur, and let's say I want a big black spot on his belly, right? Let me add in one more. Transparent. So now I have two. We'll say that the main fur is going to be brown. Let's make it a brown like so. And that's on the top. We'll make it this one here. Okay, that's going to be the main color of his fur. But I want some black splotches, and again, this is not going to be perfect, on his belly, about right here. Oh, I'm on the wrong one. I want it on that one. Okay, make sure we're here. Like this. All right. And maybe, I don't know. I'll try and put some on his legs, like so. There. Okay, cool. All right. Now we're going to save it, export it as, we'll call it, Heaven box fit. Call it fur color. Fur color 10. Got a lot of these. Okay. It's PNG, export. Go back into Iclone here. We're going to go into the fur. And we find color map on mesh. And I'm just going to drop it in. I'm going to drag and drop from the folder that it exists in. What do we call it? Fur color 10. All right, now let's see what that looks like. So you can see here and here and on his belly, you've got these little black marks. Now you could obviously do whatever you want to with that color. Make it darker or whatever, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's the first part. Now, the second part is how do we keep it off of certain places on his body? Like I said, it's a single mesh or a single texture. And it needs to be put into the texture for emission file. So we go back into here, remember this, We'll remove these. We'll add in a new one. Actually, I'm going to show you the one I already did. If I can remember. Yeah, it's this one. Same. It's the exact same thing. And what I did, you need one that's white and one that's black. Take that out. There we go. Okay. So, here we go. I'm going to leave white the areas that I want his face to be, and I'm going to make black not just his face, but his hands. Basically, I want there to be no fur on his face, on his hands and feet, which are all located down here. And then, was there any place else? His groin area, and the underwear. Okay. So basically, I took a black and I made a big border around all of his skin textures. All right. And then I just blacked out his face and his groin area here. And then using just black and white, so it looks like this, we come back into here. Hopefully I can find the right one. I've made a couple of them. I believe it was called Furry Guy Test 3, I think. Yeah. All right. So using that in the texture for emission channel, let's see what that looks like. So now that's a little better. His face is visible. All right. His hands should be relatively visible. As such, his underwear, relatively visible. And his feet should be relatively visible. And there you go. Boom. I have created a Bigfoot using fur that's put only onto specific places of the guy's body, of the character's body. Let's go ahead and give this guy a fun animation and see what he looks like with the fur. There we go. Now, the underwear obviously was a joke. You may not want that in the main one. And you can do other things. You can make the hair a little shorter. We'll do Shift S. Oops, got to go into the fur itself. Now, Shift S, we'll do a simulation. A few of the selections here can be changed while it's being simulated. So the strand thickness, the strand length. All right, you can do really thick, and then he starts to look more like a chicken. Or you make that length a little longer and make the thickness a lot less. Like that. That's way too long. There we go. Kind of back where we had it. And there's lots of other little things. Again, the tutorial that Real Illusion has shows you a lot of these choices, but they don't show you how to do fur on a single character like I'm doing here. And so I hope that's helpful, and I bid you good luck. And if you're interested, you can find my Bigfoot video here, which I was quite proud of. It's got some really good voice acting by me as Grissom Armstrong.
And the missus says to me, let's get out of here. I got to get myself outside.
And a Bigfoot, which honestly, a week later, I probably would have redone the Bigfoot using my new character. But you live and you learn.
Crush and
so
videotapes the whole thing.
Happy
As he's
Icloning.
walking by, he stops and he looks back at us, and my blood turned to ice. Well, he just kept right on going, and that was that.
There you go. All right. Later.